do sales sales as on 1/10/2015. Okay, face value is equal to 300 units are being sold. Face value of each share is, if each debenture is 100, is equal to rupees 30,000. Cost, we'll calculate cost later. First we'll calculate the income. Income is 30,000, that is the face value, into 10 divided by 100 into 0 divided by 12. Since it is the very next day of the interest received, that is 30th 9 2015, and the next day is 1/10/2015, therefore there is 0 outstanding months, so therefore the income is 0. Now let's calculate the cost. Cost is equal to x interest price, which is equal to 300 into 110, which is equal to rupees 33,000, which is equal to 33,000. Add, since we are doing sales less brokerage, at the rate, what is the rate of brokerage? At the rate 2% of 33,000. Okay, of 33,000, which is equal to 660, less, we have to less stamp duty also, stamp duty of rupees 500. So now finally we'll get the cost of rupees 31,840. So just substitute the values over here. On 1/10/2015, by cash/bank, face value is 30,000. Income is 0, or dash you can put nil, and the cost is 31,840. That means you have sold it on a huge profit. Let's see how much profit we have made on this sales. Working note number 7. Working note number 7. Calculation of profit or loss on previous sales. Now you will come to understand weighted average in a proper manner in this calculation. Previous sale, selling price is 31,840. It's 31,840 only. Yeah, 31,840 selling price. Cost price formula is equal to face value sold, face value held into cost. Now there is a challenge for you. Now I'll make you all understand. See, total before this sales we were having 170 over here, 1,70,000 face value, and we sold 50,000. That means total we are having 1,20,000. Out of 1,20,000, 30,000 are sold now. I hope you all have understood. Because see, 1 lakh plus 1,70,000, this was the total purchase, and out of that 50,000 of this total 50,000 was sold. That means we are having now 1,20,000 in our hands. Out of that 1,20,000, 30,000 are being sold. So that means face value sold is simply 30,000. Face value held, I know in later when you will be revising, that time you will forget. That's why I'm writing over here 1 lakh plus 70,000 plus, not plus, less 50,000, and cost also I'll be writing like that only. Cost before the date of sales, the total of the debit side less the cost of the credit side. Okay, now I'll show you. Cost is equal to 98,000. I want you all to write it properly like this only. Later on you have to directly calculate and substitute the value in the cost, so better do it for the first sum like this, how I am doing. Plus 69,300. Only take the cost column, of the debit side, and subtract the cost column from the credit side, which is only 49,667. So less 49,667. So we'll again write over here 30,000 divided by 1,20,000 into, let's calculate, 98,000 plus 667 plus 69,300 minus 49,667, which is equal to 1,18,300 into 40,000 divided by 1,20,000, which is equal to 29,575. So we are earning a huge profit over here of rupees 2,265. So this is the profit, and we'll pass the profit and loss entry, that is 10% debenture account debit to profit and loss account. If you recall P&L account, on the debit side are all the losses and expenses, and on the credit side there is all gains and income. So since there is a gain, a 10% debenture account debit to P&L account, that means it is coming on the credit side of the P&L, which is the income. I hope this is quite clear. On the very same day, 1/10/15 to P&L account, profit of rupees 2,265. I hope now weighted average is quite clear to you all. So now you all only think, if the question is silent about the method, whether it is FIFO or weighted average, which method you should follow. FIFO is very simple, because take the debit side, subtract the credit side before the date of the sales, and you will get the value. Rather using FIFO. FIFO is also simple but quite tricky. You don't put your brain totally into FIFO. If it is asked in the question specifically FIFO, then solve FIFO method. Generally they ask only simple sum about FIFO, they don't ask more hard sums about that. So don't worry, if the question is silent, go with weighted average only. My personal advice. So I hope this is clear. Now again, the last transaction is remaining on 31/3/2016 of interest received. So we'll do that. 31/3/2016 by cash /bank. Okay, this is working note number 6, this is working note number 7. Now we are doing working note number 8 of interest. So again we'll calculate the face value. 8 interest as on 31/3/2016. Okay, so face value is equal to opening plus purchases plus sales. Opening is 0, purchases are of 1,70,000, less sales, less of rupees 80,000. So therefore we get 90,000 as the face value. Now let's calculate. Income is equal to 90,000 into, this is less, 90,000 into 10 divided by 100 into 6 divided by 12, which is equal to 4,500. So we just need to substitute the value over here, 4,500. Okay, now on 31/3/2016 by balance carried down, we have 90,000 face value balance, and in the question it is said rupees 99 is the fair market value at the end of the year. So 90,000 divided by 100, so that means 900 number of 10% debentures we are holding, into 99, which is equal to 89,100. We'll first write it in fair working. Valuation of investment. So fair market value is equal to 90,000 divided by 100 into 99, which is equal to 89,100, and cost we have to calculate is equal to debit minus credit. Let's calculate that. 98,000 plus 667 plus 69,300 plus 22,265 minus 49,667 minus 31,840, which is equal to, cost is equal to 88,725. 88,725. So whichever is lower, that means the cost is equal to 88,725. 88,725 is the cost. Okay, quite simple. Now just we need to balance this income column, and here on 31,316 to P&L account, the amount will come balancing amount, balance figure, that you can calculate and calculate the grand total. Okay, but now one more thing I want you all to teach is, if the fair market value is lower than the cost, then what to do, then how to balance it. See, if the fair market value over here was assumed 88,000, so what you would have done, you would have written over here 88,000 and you would have written 31,316 by P&L account, that means loss 725 rupees. I hope this is clear. You may face such sums in the practice manual while you all be solving. I know you all want time to copy, so start copying. Please pause the video and copy. I hope you all have copied. If you want to copy this P&L stuff, you can copy. Nominal account. I hope you all have copied. This is the profit and loss. This is generally the golden rule of nominal account. I've given in this T format so that you all understand it better. Copy the first and second working note. I hope you all have copied. Copy the last working note of this page. I hope you all have copied. Copy first and second, that is fourth and fifth working note first. I hope you all have copied. Copy this working note. I hope you all have copied. Copy seventh working note first. I hope you all have copied. Copy the last working note. I hope you all have copied. Now we will be studying in the next lecture fluctuating income bearing securities. Our fixed income bearing securities comes to an end over here. I will be making a consolidated sum, so wait for that. At the end of the lecture, at the end of the complete chapter, we will do this consolidated sum, so that only that sums you will do during the exam time.